Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my channel, D versus Debt. This is D. I'm a college teacher turned college student for a year while I'm on sabbatical. So I am living the ramen life basically with not a lot of money to go around. So I'm taking you on my journey with that this year. I have paid off over $60,000 of debt in the time that I've gone on my debt-free journey. And so I'm hoping to take you along for the ride where I've completely paid off everything. So for today, I wanted to show you a planner that I found. I wanted to do kind of like budget with me and that sort of video here on the channel, but I have an itty bitty little recording space right here where I film. So I needed to find a little planner that would fit this space because the planner that I use is way too big and it has so much personal information in there. So I thought, no, not a good idea. So I found this one on clearance because of the fact that right now we're in September and this is a dated calendar that started in July. So all I did is I took out a couple of these, well, basically all the inserts that came inside of these months. And I saved them. I don't throw anything away. I am gonna save them for next year and just redate them. You know, use little stickers to cover up the dates and put in new ones for the year. So I am starting in September and I wanted to ask you guys for ideas. Again, originally this was gonna be like where you could see my budget, see my categories, watch me like, you know, zero out things and all of that I like to watch when I watch people's budgeting videos. However, this quickly morphed into basically a YouTube and Etsy tracker planner. So I need ideas. Let me know, you know, you guys are so creative, come up with some suggestions of things to do. I might just make this my YouTube and Etsy channel, YouTube and Etsy planner, and then have my own budgeting planner separate. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. So anyways, this is just to give you an idea of what the inserts look like, plus inserts that I added in. So there is a monthly calendar right there. Whenever I look at a monthly calendar, when it comes to my budgeting, I like to see where I started off with in terms of the debt that I owe. And I also like to point out to myself how much of that money went into interest, because I see that basically as me throwing money into a flaming pit. Like, it's such a waste of money. So my debt is $36,000 exactly. I'll insert a picture so that you know I'm not pulling your leg. For my mortgage, I like nice round numbers, and so I went hog basically in August, putting extra towards my mortgage so that I brought it down to exactly $36,000. Now, when my monthly payment went in on this amount, this is how much of my payment went just for interest, which this number always makes me so mad because there's so many things I could do with $131.33. I'm struggle busing right now, being, you know, a college student again and all of that, and having very little money to work with while I'm on sabbatical. I also always like to list my goals, and so these goals I went over in my coffee and chat video at the end of the month in August. So I just basically put them here. You know, the number of subscribers I want to try and gain in the month. I did reopen my Etsy shop. You're going to see that here and some of the inserts coming up. I am participating in my $1 investing challenge, and that's actually been a lot more fun than I expected it to. So you're going to see that in a minute. So on the 3rd, I put extra towards principal. I put $121 extra, and I'm hoping to throw at least another $100 extra towards my mortgage principal before the month is up of September. So on this insert that comes with this planner, it's really cool because it breaks down, you know, the day and the day of the week and the date all the way through till the 30th, because there's 30 days in September. And so I thought it'd be cool to list out my activity, what I'm doing. So I checked off already the videos that I've posted on my channel for YouTube. And then this is my plan for the rest of the semester, because my goal the rest of the month, because the goal had been to film 3 videos a week. And so this is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for the next part of the month. And this is what I've already done. I also started listing the things I put in my Etsy shop, and as you can see, it quickly cramped up and ran out of space. So I didn't have room to write anything. I thought it was really clever to write my Etsy listings in orange because that's the color of the Etsy logo. But I didn't have room to put in stuff that I did, and it morphed into just me putting E's for the days that I put in Etsy listings. So I think I like this being a page of just me planning ahead of what I want to do for the month for my video. So I think this page from here on out is just going to be for my YouTube videos. So I bought the planner on the 4th. This is why the rest are blank. And then I started getting to work. I put in, the next day after I bought the planner, I listed these things on my Etsy shop, these printables. And then I was so excited, you guys. So I officially brought back my Etsy shop on the 5th and started listing things. And then all of a sudden, late that night, I made my first Etsy sale, and it scared the tar out of me. So those of you that sell on Etsy and you have the app, it makes that cha-ching sound when somebody orders. Well, I had my shop basically asleep for almost 2 years. And so when that little cha-ching sound came on, I jumped. I was in bed already, and it scared me so much that I had practically lifted off the bed. I was so freaked out. And then I was so happy. So I had to commemorate, that I made my first Etsy sale. So I officially have one sale in my Etsy shop of my digital printers, a digital planner printables. I'm trying to do like a digital dollar store basically, and have like just budgeting stuff, planning stuff, everything for $1-ish and change. By the time Etsy takes out all its fees, like 20 cents for listing, 25 cents for transaction fee, 4% for this, 3% for that. Literally my dollar listings, I end up making like 50 cents, but still, that's what I want to do, is to have digital stuff, affordable stuff, because we're all on a budgeting journey. So it makes no sense to sell expensive stuff. It makes more sense to sell affordable stuff, which is why I want that digital dollar store. So, just started mapping out when I do Etsy listings, when I do YouTube videos, and the days that I don't do anything, which is usually Saturdays and Sundays. So let me go to the investing challenge. So this planner also comes with this cool graph paper, and I thought, well, what do I do with that graph paper? So I did the same thing, numbered it 1 through 30, like it had in the other page, because there's 30 days in September, and I wanted to track my investment challenge activities. So basically for my investment challenge, there's 30 days in September, so I invest $30 at the beginning of the month in a stock that I find interesting. So I picked 2 different REITs because they have a high dividend payback. I thought, okay, that'll be fun to track and see how that does. And then for everything else, if you notice, everything else is $1. Basically, anytime I go somewhere, I buy $1 worth of stock somewhere, or if I do a transaction somewhere. So for example, you see Etsy and PayPal, those got $1. And then also, like when I go to the grocery store, Walmart, Starbucks, places like that, I'll do my transaction, and then on my app immediately, on my CashApp, I'll buy $1 worth of stock in that. So if you're curious about that, I do have that investing video that I posted using CashApp, and I do have my CashApp referral code if you want $5 for that. But that's how that's working out. My dividends are about to come due in the next couple of days, so then I'll be able to list here how much I officially made for my first month in dividends. So this next page, I wanted to use up some habit trackers that I bought a while back. Probably been a couple of years. So it comes in a pack of 60, and basically it's a habit tracker that lets you look at your patterns for 3 different things. After I started this one, I quickly realized, oops, I made an oopsie, because the other insert that I put in also has a no spend tracker. So this is going to get changed. I'm thinking maybe for this page, it might be a good idea to do like Etsy work days, where I sit there and work on creating stuff to list. And then the Etsy listing days, where I can track which days I listed stuff to sell. And then here, Etsy sell dates, where, something actually sold. Then I can track the days. And so when I go back and look, I can see the days that I was busy making stuff, what days were good for sales, all of that stuff. So, but if you have ideas for things I can track, definitely let me know, because I think this is really helpful to look back on and look at your patterns. So the back of the page had a 1, 2, and 3. So I decided to list my savings challenges. I am doing my bingo challenge, and so I'll be writing down how much I saved each week. Week 1, I saved $14. Week 2, I saved $47. I haven't started my $5 challenge yet because this was a really bad week money-wise for me. So I'm hoping to start it next week. And then rollover is basically what's left over in my spending. So I budget a certain amount. Like for example, here you see there's $42. That's because I had budgeted last week $50 for groceries. I only spent $7, so $42 gets rolled over. So that's what this is. So I have been doing a shop my pantry challenge to save money on groceries, which is why I haven't been spending money on groceries. And that's where the rollover came from. So on the back of the page, it lists bills to pay. And this is another page I realized this might not work for my budgeting calendar because my bills are always due at the very end of the month. So first day of the month, I pay my my mortgage, and then all of my bills, water, electric, all that stuff, internet, phone, all of that is due the last week of the month. So for the rest of the month, these pages would be empty. For this particular week, I did have tuition due for school. So I pay a monthly amount on my tuition, and so there it is. It was due the 15th. I actually paid it a little bit early. So the school got $1,185 of my dollars. Ouch. And so that happens every month. So I changed my budget for this week for my categories. It still adds up to $100, but now I'm targeting to spend $40 on groceries, $20 on gasoline, $20 on home stuff like cleaning supplies, hairspray, toothbrushes, toothpaste, all that stuff. And then health is basically like supplements and health related stuff. So every week I'm shooting for 100. If there's money left over, I'll put it into my rollover and use it for my envelopes, my savings challenges, that other stuff. So for this week, I'm still doing my pantry challenge, still avoiding the grocery store and just buying stuff or just cooking stuff with what I have in the pantry and in the freezer. So this is the expense tracker I was talking about where it said no spend days, which is why it wouldn't make sense then to do a no spend tracker here because it comes on this one week by week. So this is a different set of printables or inserts, and these are also in a set of 60. Never ever ever pay full price. This says $5.99 Hobby Lobby, but they always go on like 50% clearance. So just wait till they go on sale, which is like every other week practically, and then go in there and buy your stuff. So that's my tip for that. So they do have a no spend tracker here. And then here is where I put, instead of my cash envelope expenses, this is where I track my credit card spending. So there are just certain things that I spend with my credit card. So like, for example, gasoline, I don't have to worry about paying in cash because I'm not going to abuse how much gasoline I get. It's always just a certain amount every week and I don't go over. So I already spent my $20 budget for the week, and I bought stuff like pet food, home stuff like face cream, toothpaste, that sort of thing. So that's where I track those expenses. So there's enough in there for the rest of the week. And then I found one that's not as insert, but I turned it into one. And so I thought this would be a fun thing to do. So let me show you. At Dollar General, one of my favorite places to shop, there's this magnetic pad, but I'm punching holes in it and putting it into my monthly or my weekly spreads. I love that it says girls with goals because there are so many ladies that I like to watch here on YouTube when it comes to budgeting and paying off debt, paying their mortgage off, all of that stuff. So I thought it'd be cool to keep a list of who I'm watching and loving and relating to and all that, because there's so many interesting stories. Everybody's journey is different and everybody has just lots of different ways to inspire us. So for this week, the first time that I showed this, I scratched out girls and I put guys, because I mostly watch ladies. There's just a few gentlemen that I watch when it comes to these types of channels. So I wanted to shout them out because I really enjoy their content and I wanted to make other people aware of them if they didn't know. So A Man with the Plans is the one that I've been watching for the longest. I've been watching his videos for years. In fact, when I had gone to a conference, a Go Wild conference, which is basically, you know, a place where planner lovers, sticker lovers, stationery lovers get together and party for a few days. He was there and I was so excited. I was standing in line and I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, it's A Man with the Plans. And I was fangirling, but I was too chicken to go say hi to him. So he's really sweet. It's fun to watch him on his journey. His journey is changing. He has a new job. He did pay off his debt. So, you know, it's cool to see people that are transitioning to a different part of their journey. Budget with Ira is someone that I just discovered and he's hilarious. He is I think gonna hit 1,000 subscribers pretty quickly. When I found him, I think he only had a couple hundred. He's so funny. He's from the UK, so his accent is beautiful, but his humor is amazing. I just crack up watching all of his videos. In fact, he just put out a video about his Etsy shop releases and his October themed budgeting stuff, which is so cute and so funny. So definitely recommend checking him out. Super, super funny guy, very charming. And then 40 and Broke, his journey is fascinating to me. So he's obviously very relatable because I'm in that space too right now with him being 40 and broke. But he went to prison at 18 years of age. And the majority of my students are 18 years old. And so for me to imagine them sitting in prison instead of in a classroom is just heartbreaking. So he spent 11 years in prison, came out, and now he's, you know, in his transition journey where he's going from, you know, having served time to turning his life around completely. So again, everybody is just so inspirational in their own different way, and I love following their journey. So what I did then to turn this into something that goes into my planner is I basically, you know, tore out a few sheets at a time, and I have this arc punch, which was pretty cheap. I got it from Staples at a pretty good price, I think on sale and with a coupon and all of that, which is how I shop. But it's just cool because you slide in your paper that you want to put into your disc-bound planner, and then you just punch it, and it only does one page at a time, but it's nice because it comes in handy. So I just have it sitting off to the side of my desk, and then when I want to put something into my planner, I just punch it and put it on in. So again, that's just the cool thing about disc-bound systems, is that you can move your pages around. You're not stuck with it in that place permanently like you could do with like spiral bound or with hardbound planners. So I'm always just punching stuff and then putting it in, making my notes, and then shuffling things around. And so speaking of notes, that's another insert that I put in, some notes pages that I had left over. And so here I think is where I can do like my budget with me kind of videos to show you guys how I break down my numbers, how I did, all of that stuff. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, for taking time out of your day to come to my channel and hear me blabber. Again, I would really love to hear your suggestions, your ideas for ways to use this particular planner. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.